Yeah. Good morning, guys. It is Thursday, as we are always here on Thursday morning to chat with you about things
Except
we're
last week
doing.
because you were diving in the ocean.
Oh, yeah. Thursday, I was looking at sharks. Last Thursday. So we went lobster diving, and I told you we found sharks, but how you find them is when you're lobster diving, you literally like go to the bottom of the ocean. You're only like 30 feet down. They take you to the shallow parts, and but you're like 2 miles offshore. But anyways, your head is like down, and you're looking underneath these reefs, and Jared and I were like, he's like, I'm gonna go over here and go around this reef. You go over there and go around this reef, and then we'll meet back together. And I was like, okay. And you can't talk, so everything is sign language, right? So I'm going around this reef, and all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, there's a tail of a big fish. No, it was not a fish. As I finished going around the reef, this nurse shark, whose head was this wide, was like ding right in my face. And so I get up and I'm like, shark, shark. I'm like, we have these chingle things, like little chime things that you shake when you want to get your partner's attention. So I was like, shake, 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 shake. I'm like, shark, 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 shark. So he comes over and we look at it. I mean, they're not going to do anything. They're used to seeing people. They're just hanging out, they're swimming or whatever. But I mean, this thing was fucking massive. It was 9 feet long. So we're at the end of our dive because you're only down for an hour, and it's like 40 minutes and we're trying to figure out where the boat is. So he says, you stay here. I'm going to go see where the boat is. And I'm like, but there's a fucking shark right there. Because again, you can't talk. So he goes, you stay here. I'm going to go look for the boat. And I'm like, there's a fucking shark right there. So I stayed at the bottom of the ocean. Again, only 30 feet down. And I'm like on my knees, like with my tickle stick for my lobster and my net for my lobster. And I'm just staring at this shark, like, just stay under the reef. Just stay under the reef. So that was the start of.
That's cool, though. I just watched a documentary recently. I think it's on Netflix, maybe. I don't know. About how misunderstood sharks are, really.
Yeah. I mean, we saw 2 other ones and they're just hanging out. I mean, they're just hanging out,
It was Jaws. That is the culprit. Like, it literally changed everybody's view, and everyone has all this fear now of sharks because, like, sharks aren't like the only reason a shark would attack someone is if they thought that you were something else, like a seal or something. So when you know how to approach them and how to be in the water, it's like they're not going to bother you. They give you the rules: stay in a group, don't go in like murky water. I mean, I've never been in the ocean. I lived in California. I lived in Florida. I never stepped foot in the ocean because there's fucking sharks in there, right? I haven't seen all these shark movies all my life, but now I feel like, okay, maybe
I'll tell you what. I think the more dangerous thing that we had to deal with the whole time we dove for 5 days in a row was the weather was horrible. It treated us bad. There was big storms. But number 2, I got bit by jellyfish probably like 10 times on my face. Like, you'll just be swimming around. There was one time we just went swimming and there was a fuck ton of them and you couldn't avoid them. And so, I have gear on. We have gloves on. I have booties on. The only thing really exposing is your face and your neck. So like I kept getting bit on like behind my ear and stuff. But that was really and we had a couple fish that had teeth that were biting. But again, you have gear on. You're just like, get the fuck out of here. But it was a good time. So that's where we were last Thursday. You guys, we have a huge announcement coming up in like 10 minutes. Huge, game-changing for some people. It's going to affect a certain type of person. So be on the lookout for that. But we want to talk to you real quick about what we did in the next chapter this week. On Monday, we gave a great training. Why don't you tell them what it was about?
Yeah. So as you guys know, or maybe some of you don't know, when you're a member of the next chapter, you get to tell us what you need help with and what you want to learn. And then Sam and I put together an entire 1-hour workshop and give you the information. And so one of the things that our members was telling us that they really wanted to learn was how to build friendships as an adult. Like, in this new chapter of your life, how do I make more friends? How do I connect with people? And so we did a whole training on it. It's so good. So if that's something you're struggling with and you want to know how to make more friends, or honestly, sometimes, and like this has happened to me, you just get to a point in your life where the people you have been friends with, you're just not aligned with them anymore. Or they're just not resonating with you, or the things that they want to do, or their mindset and beliefs. It's just not aligned with who
it's time to pivot.
You want to be.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to, move on and find new friends that will support who you are now, or who you're trying to be.
And I think it's hard when you're a mom and you have a job and you have a house and you're single and you're like, I don't have time for friends. I don't have time to date. I don't have time for friends. And it is really hard to find somebody that understands that, respects that, and doesn't demand a lot of your time. And it's so cool. You know, when you and I became friends, you were just very matter of fact with your boundaries. Like, I don't check my phone at night, I turn it off. You're gonna have to wait till the morning. You know, where I have other girlfriends, if I text them at 11, they're probably still up. They're going to text me back. But you are just like one that's like, nope, I have boundaries. This is who I am. And this is what I sleep is important to me.
Yes.
And it's just so cool that you showed me that boundary right from the beginning. And I don't mind texting you late at night because I'm an hour behind. And I know you'll just text me early in the morning. And you know that I'm going to still be sleeping. Like, it's just cool where I think
I didn't even think about it like a boundary. I was just like, oh no, I don't check it after this time, or if it's Sunday, I'm not working.
Right. But I feel like I have other friendships where I'm like, I feel obligated if I don't text back right away, or I feel like I owe them something, you know, or like, oh, I should. And like, I think our friendship, because it's so authentic, we don't feel that pressure, you know, at all. But I know, remember when we first started being friends, we did both go through that phase of like, when you didn't respond after something.
Is she mad at me?
Is she mad at me?
She's left me unread.
Right. And it could just be that somebody's busy. But I think when we're this mom and we've been divorced and we're struggling with finding ourselves again, it's like, who do we align ourselves with? And I'm not one that has somebody in my life every single day. I mean, you are, because we work together and we're friends. But like, even my other girlfriends, I only have texting friends. I don't have a friend that I go have coffee with. All my friends are on the fucking internet or on my phone. Like, I don't have a girl in my neighborhood that I can go and be like, hey, let's go hang out. I'm starting to, like I told you about, I have one like kid that's the same. They have kids the same age as our little boys, and they're in the same classes, and we went to the same daycare, and they're really cool, but they're just as busy too. And I'll respect this woman forever, because they took us boating one day, and we were in the front of the boat and the guys were in the back, you know, the kids are sitting down watching the waves and stuff. And she said, you know, she goes, I love having girlfriends, but she goes, nothing is more important than my marriage. And she goes, it'll always come first. And we're both already super busy. And so she goes, if he's home, I'm spending time with him, and I'll cancel on you. She's like, I just want you to know, like, because his job, because he's a police officer, she goes, I'm going to take him as a priority always, because he is my best friend and I want to hang out with him. And I just thought that was really cool, because Jared's my best friend, you know, like Jared's my ride or die. Right. So it's like, I totally respected that, but she was showing me a boundary from the beginning of like, hey, we can be friends, we can be cool, but I might cancel on you to work on my marriage. Yeah. You know, that's awesome. I was like, that's awesome.
And you're going to be moving soon. So you're going to be kind of in that position where it's like, I don't know anybody here.
I know. I'm kind of like, I'm excited about that. And like restarting, like, will we have friends in the neighborhood? We're moving to kind of a retired area. I will admit that, but it's like kids in my kids' school district. Like, I will get to have that fresh new start. Nobody will know me, hopefully, if they haven't seen me on the internet. And it'll be like this. I get to say whatever story. I won't have the baggage of my ex-husband being like, oh, she's that divorced, because my big kids will be out. So it's like, it is exciting to start thinking about building those new friendships. It is.
And knowing you won't run into your ex anywhere.
Oh my God. Can we just take a moment for that? Like, to know I don't have to look a certain direction. I'm not looking for a certain vehicle. I'm not going to have like the sound of his voice ever like creep in behind me. Like, I'm fucking stoked about that.
Yeah.
I know my daughter is. I know my daughter's like, I can't wait to be down in Alabama and not have to like look over my shoulder anymore. And I know that sounds sad for some of you to hear, but my daughter is ready to not be watched. Just the other day, I posted about her on Facebook, and I had somebody share it. And I was public because I was public for my business, and somebody shared it, and it's not anybody that I'm friends with. So it's like, I'm just ready for shit like that to stop. Now I closed down my Facebook page because of it, because I'm just like, really, that was a picture of my kid. And now somebody shared it that I'm pretty sure I know who it was, but it wasn't somebody on my team. It's not somebody on my team. So, but yeah, finding friends, I think, is just hard because we feel guilty leaving our kids. We feel guilty, you know, like, I know, I don't either. But I'm like, oh, you want to go out for coffee? Hey, I'm going to be gone. Like yesterday, I got a tattoo. I'm like, hey, Jerry, I'm getting a tattoo on Wednesday. Like, you got the kids. And he's like, okay. He knows that's my thing. Like, I want to step away to just do something for myself, you know? And I think that's what you have to do with friendships too. Like, you have to schedule it in.
Yeah, you do.
You have to.
Like, I don't really see a lot of friends, but what I did recently, and now I'm building a lot of relationships from it, is I had joined this networking group. It's an all women networking group. And honestly, I was a little reluctant to do it because girls girls are bitchy. Some girls, they're cliquey and they're
gosh.
kind of mean and gossipy. And I was like, I don't know if I want to. But I went as a guest to one of these networking meetings and just loved it. The vibe was just nice. Everyone was very approachable and genuine and just want to get to know you. And I was like, I like this. So I ended up joining. Yeah. And now they have all these different events. And so when I see these ladies regularly, there's a meeting once a month. So it's scheduled, right? Like once a month, I know I'm going to this thing. I'm hanging out with these ladies. And then they do things kind of outside of that too, which are nice. And I see them more than I see my other friends. Like, you know, once a month is more than I see a lot of other people in my life. And, but that was a great way to just meet people, just to kind of connect with people. So just joining groups, it doesn't even have to be a networking group. Like there's meetups, local meetups, like on Facebook groups, you can find people, but just putting, you know, stepping outside of your comfort zone, giving something a chance that maybe you wouldn't have in the past. And just like trying it and going and joining, and you never know what kind of relationships can bloom from that. And I know you meet a lot of ladies like from your kids being in sports. That's a way that you connect with a lot of people.
Right. And even last night, something came across, like I was at the tattoo shop and I'm getting a tattoo and I'm laying there and, you know, you're doing all the prep. And so you're just kind of like walking around the place, waiting for your artist to like prep the stuff. And so it was like girls' night at the tattoo parlor last night. There was a girl finishing work on her sleeve. There was 2 girlfriends that came in to get like somewhat similar tattoos, but I wouldn't know because they were complete bitchy attitudes and had resting bitch face. Like, you know, when I see somebody, I'm like, hey, you know, like you smile, you're like, hey, you know, like you do this eye contact and smile thing. And the reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to think about when you're out and about, what vibe are you putting off? You know, because these 2 girls, one girl was being really sweet. Like this blonde was like, you know, she smiled when I smiled at her because I'm laying on my stomach. I'm just looking around the room at this point. I'm getting tattooed and I'm just like, you know, I'm not on my phone. I'm just kind of socializing with people walking by. And this girl, you could tell, just had petrified look on her face. I was like, is that her first tattoo? I'm asking the girl that had resting bitch face. And she was like, no. Okay, well, no visible tattoos that I could see. And she had a fucking tank top on. So I'm like, okay, maybe she got an ass tattoo or something. I don't know. So I was like, oh, okay. So you can see this girl, like she was nervous about getting this tattoo. So the blonde was down, the nice one was down getting a tattoo. And I'm like looking at the other girl. I'm like, how's she doing? She's like, fine. Why? I was like, do I have the look that I'm like, it was just, she was younger than me. So I don't know if she's like, why is this old woman looking at my direction? I don't fucking know. But like that girl looked like a straight up bitch. And I'm like, how do you have a friend? Like, I don't know. So what are you putting off? Because this girl, the blonde, she looked very approachable. She looked very sweet. She was making eye contact. She was smiling. But this brunette had a stick up her ass so far. It was making her face hurt.
And it makes a big difference are you like giving people eye contact? Are you smiling? Are you being open to receiving? And it does, because I know that intentionally, like that's how I am normally in the grocery store, and that like I'm telling everybody hello, I'm complimenting people for their hair and whatever. But when I'm at the gym, it's a don't fuck with me vibe.
Right.
I don't want to talk to you.
Right.
I have my music on. Like I'm literally intentionally not even looking at anybody. I'm like looking at the floor. I'm not smiling. Like I don't want to be talked to. And that's the vibe I'm putting out. So just be mindful of like
of the vibe,
how you're showing up. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, cause I know I wasn't looking for a friend. I was just looking for like, I'm bored. I'm sitting there for an hour. Right. I was just looking for a conversation. And it was just like, this girl was trying so hard to come across as a badass. And it's like, okay, I get you. You had a half sleeve. Kudos. You're awesome. Whatever. But it was just like, I don't know. So it made me just think like, how often do I look like that? You know, like how often, because I was doing my workshop earlier this week, and then we're going to get to our announcement, guys. I was doing the workshop and I have everybody on screen. So I was looking through like 60, 70 people. And I just told everybody, I said, look, I know you're looking at me intently and you're listening. I said, a lot of you have resting bitch face. You're just looking, I mean, you just look hateful as hell. Like and I know divorce is a heavy subject, but it made everybody laugh a little bit. I'm like, always be thinking about how you look. Are you approachable to even find friends? Are you approachable to even be considered to be talked to? You know, if you're out and about and somebody doesn't find you approachable, they're never going to come up and strike up a conversation to be friends with you. So really take a good look at yourself on what do you look like, you know, when you're just kind of sitting and perusing the stores and shopping or out and about. But I agree. When you're in the gym, I'm like, no. I don't want to be approached. I'm kind of
honestly, you can meet people on social media too, you guys. That's how Sam and I met. Like if you follow somebody maybe even doesn't live locally. I mean, I'm in New York, she's in Illinois, so you can reach out, send a
Yeah.
DM, be like, hey, like, I like your vibe, or I'm into this too. Like, would you want to hop on a Zoom for a coffee or
Yeah.
something? That's literally how this was years ago. That's how that happened. And we've become friends and partners. And I mean, you never know
Yeah.
what that can lead to, but you got to have the balls to be like, okay, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to message. And then if they don't message you back, don't make that mean something about you. Don't be like, oh, she doesn't think I'm cool enough. She doesn't like me. But you have to do it sometimes, keep stepping outside of your comfort zone. And then what is meant to be will happen, but you have to take that action.
Right. So speaking of action, we took action because we heard that you guys wanted something. So to all of the stepmoms out there right now that are, with a great man trying to be a father after his divorce and raising his kids, we had a lot of stepmoms and a lot of dads that were reaching out to us like, what do you have for us? And I've always had a support group where I've allowed both male and female. And I'm seeing a divide sometimes in some of the questions and comment section. And Leah Marie was a little bit hesitant. She'd always done women's stuff, but men were reaching out to her and asking her, hey, do you have stuff for men as well? I'm struggling with my confidence. I have a high conflict baby mama that's ripping me to shreds. How do I build myself back up to get myself back out there? So I'm telling you right now, you guys, we have revamped our business and we have done everything for the dads as well. So I'm going to give a short little, and you catch anything that I'm missing. So we wanted a place for free that dads could go. And that's a free Facebook group that you guys can join. If you're a dad struggling with, going through this divorce, going through co-parenting journey, we have made a Facebook group that you guys can come, the men's divorce circle, just answer the membership questions and you can go in. We already have people in there. We actually have our significant others in there. We actually have a couple other dads that have been my clients that have.
And we just launched this week. Like this is brand new. So you can get in really on, from the ground, and it's going to, I think, blow up and be amazing because of how many people have reached out to us asking us for services like this.
And I really feel like, a lot of the male clients that I've helped over the years have just said, Sam, a woman's perspective, a mom's perspective, why my wife, ex-wife is thinking this, why she's explain it to me. I don't understand, how can I connect with my kids more like she does? And like, I feel like that's just tools that we have that we want to share with those dads as well, to help them. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the next chapter for just dads. We're doing it right now for just women. We're going to have a next chapter for just dads where dads are going to tell us, hey, I want a training on love language. Teach me about my kids' love language. Hey, I want to know how to talk to my wife, my ex-wife with more respect. Hey, I want my ex-wife to respect my new girlfriend. We'll give trainings on whatever you guys request trainings on. And that right there is the same as the women. It's just $30 a month and it's a private group where you get to engage with us through videos. And then the last
thing, cancel anytime. That's what's so cool about this too. Come in for as long as you need to, learn what you need to learn. And then if you feel like you're in a good place, you leave the nest. It's like, it's so convenient. It's something for everybody.
Right. And then we're going to do the same thing again. What we're doing for moms is we're going to offer group coaching. We're going to offer group coaching to just dads, meaning dads, you can jump on a Zoom with us, learn from other dads, learn from us, ask questions, engage, build relationships with other dads that are struggling with this divorce and co-parenting. And we'll do Zoom calls. And then what I think most people just love about the group coaching is they have immediate access to us on email Monday through Thursday. So both services, you guys, everything we just listed for the dads has already been offered for the moms. There's already those services for the moms. There's the next chapter for women. There's group coaching for women. There's support groups for women. So it's for both. We just wanted to separate to where people can be a little bit freer in self-expression and to be able to feel comfortable. And it helps also with us on not having the same people in the same group. For the most part. Now we know we have same-sex marriages, so we're going to have to really fine tune when somebody of a same-sex marriage comes in, say, hey, can you be on the lookout for my significant other, my soon-to-be ex? We'll do that for you. We'll help out and protect you in that sense. But first come, first serve, right? But this has just been weighing on us. I've been etching on Leah for a long time. Like, we need to do something for the dads. We need to do something for the dads, like dads. And she finally said, all right, let's do it. And so she put it all together, and it's going to be amazing.
I think the group coaching for dads is going to be huge because women are much more likely to get vulnerable with other women, share, ask questions, talk about how they're feeling. And men, historically, struggle to do that. They don't
Yep.
feel comfortable doing that. So the fact that we now have created this space where dads can come in and talk about what's going on and hear from other dads that they're like, oh shit, that's happening to me too. Or yes, that's how I feel. That's what I'm
Right.
struggling with too. That shared healing and that experience is it's life changing, because I mean, I know from my group stuff, when I go to my Reiki circles and you know, my group, my women's groups and things here in my hometown, it's such an amazing experience to be able to open up and share with other people in a safe space and hear what they have to say too. And so I'm just really excited to be able to give dads the opportunity to do something like that.
Right. And I just feel like so many people come and they watch TikToks and they listen to podcasts and they read newsletters, but they don't get any personalized help. You know, custom help to what is your issue? I had a dad a couple days ago, and this is a great story. It's jaw dropping. I had a dad, business owner, has, you know, got with somebody else. The divorce is just dragging on forever. Mom is a police officer, using her badge in the wrong way, doing investigating things that she shouldn't be doing. High conflict mom here in this story. Took the child, ill reasons, got a false restraining order thrown out there because she's in the system, right? And so restraining order thing was yesterday. And she tells the judge 30 minutes before the restraining order case for the dad to still not be able to see his child. She can't make it. The child's in the hospital. Now, the dad's like, there's no way that's fucking true. So the dad has the judge FaceTime the mom, which I've never heard of, but I guess, okay, so this judge FaceTimes the mom. The mom is at home. So she was lying to the judge. So the judge was like, ma'am, you're in contempt, but I'm not going to throw you in jail yet because I want to hurry up and get this custody case over. So next Thursday's our day. And I couldn't believe it. Like when I met with him the other day, he's just like, Sam, all of this is so, none of it happened. She's accusing me of this. None of it happened. She has no evidence of anything happened. There's no reason for this restraining order. There's no reason I shouldn't be seeing my kids, blah, blah, blah. And his attitude about it, he was more positive than I was. He was just like, it's all meant to be. He's like, the universe and God has my back. He's like, it'll all come out. The truth will come out. He's like, I've done nothing. I mean, his perspective on it, he would be perfect to be in the next chapter to help other people and everything and the support group, because he's just like, I have to know that this is happening for a reason and it's going to clear my name even faster, you know, versus staying in that high conflict, just monotony of fighting all the time. He's like, the Band-Aid's going to be ripped off on what she's been doing to me and trying to alienate me away from my child or my children. He has two. And it was just, my heart went out to him because he's like, I mean, the whole time he's like, I'm innocent and I know I am. And I know the judge is going to find me innocent. I haven't done anything to my children or my ex-wife. And she had no evidence. And then she lied. How people don't think they're going to get caught.
Busted. Such bad karma.
Yes. Like and that's the thing. It's like, being a high conflict parent doesn't discriminate. There's men and there's women. There's moms and dads. Like, it does not matter sex. There's just some people that have been so traumatized that they don't trust and they lash out and they have to go on the, you know, offense and attack everybody all the time so that they don't get attacked. It's just, it amazes me how ruthless some people can be. I mean, this woman is an officer of the law and lied and then lied to a judge. Like, what are you thinking, woman? All for what? I mean, because you're honestly, from his perspective, she's mad that he moved on and he found somebody
sounds like it's more of a retaliation thing.
Yeah. And I see that a lot. And I'm sure you do too. In clients, it's just, it's so sad. So, I mean, for him to be able to have a group, for him to be able to talk, you know, and things like that, for him to be able to be with other men that are going through high conflict, you know, women that are just trying to alienate their children or trying to take full custody away from them. That's who we want to help. We just want to give the tools, you know, like, we're not saying men are better than women or women are better than men. We're just saying everybody deserves the right tools to help their case in being a good parent and moving on with their life and not letting this. I have a lot of male clients that walk on eggshells with their high conflict, you know, baby mama. And they're just like, I don't know what to say to her. I don't know what to do. I don't know what, you know, and I know there's moms that feel the same way about their high conflict dad. Totally. So it's about building their confidence up. It's about trusting that they're a good parent by giving them all the tools they need to be confident and to be that good parent. And then they can go on with their co-parenting journey successfully. So that's our mission.
All of our services are for people who want to be better for their kids and be better for themselves. Like that is what all of our tools and resources and courses and coaching, it's like, how do I show up better as a parent and how do I better myself?
Right. Right. So, and I think for the longest time, you and I were like, surely there's groups out there for men. Just go join a men's group. And I've been a part of a couple, I'm going to be honest. And unless there's good leadership in the group, it gets negative real quick. And so you got to come into these groups knowing that you're ready to change a little bit, get outside of your comfort zone, learn, be vulnerable and ask questions, and say that you don't know something and I need help. And for men, that is a little bit harder. But I have plenty of male clients that have done it already and they call back. I had a gentleman yesterday that called. He called me while I was on vacation. I was like, man, I can't talk. I'm on vacation. I'm on a boat. I can't hear you, blah, blah, blah. I'll call you back. And I just called him back yesterday. And I feel like an asshole because he was one of my very first clients years ago. And he said, Sam, what we thought would happen finally happened. And he's like, I want to tell you, the only reason I'm really calling you is to thank you. He goes, because what you told me years ago, you told me to lay low, to just be supportive of my daughter, that she'll open up when she needed to. And he goes, we were at the kitchen table and she opened it up. And he goes, and you coaching me on how to not overreact kept her talking, and we found out more and more. He goes, you prepared me that she was probably going to tell me something horrible someday and how to react to it. And he goes, as soon as she started talking, I remembered your voice. From years ago, he remembered my voice. And so he was just calling to say thank you. He goes, we found out something horrible, but because of the way you coached me on it, I did not overreact. And now we're getting her the help she needs. And he's like, I can't tell you enough. And that to me, he was like, so he said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. And I told him, I said, we're getting ready to open up to dads. And he got emotional. He's like, I love that you're going to help dads now. He goes, because everybody needs to know this shit. So I'm really excited about it. Like I'm super excited that everybody's going to be getting the tools they need to just be more successful as a human being and as a parent. Yeah. And that's our goal, is to help everybody. So you'll be getting newsletters from us announcing it. Both whoever, if you're following Leah, you're following both of us, it doesn't matter. You'll be getting newsletters saying, hey, here's the links. You can go to our websites. You can go to our LinkedIn's, or not our LinkedIn's, our link trees, and everything is there. I need to put it on my website today. I need to add that in there. I need to do that today, but everything's on my link tree, which is same plastered everywhere. So we'll be in here and I think I put a couple of the links. We'll put more of the links in this video series right now down in the comment section as soon as we leave. But what do you got going on this weekend? Anything? I don't have anything. I'm home for the first time in a long time. We have homecoming Friday night. We got to figure out who's going to be the queen and king for homecoming. My daughter's on homecoming court with her boyfriend. So we're living that up this week.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. Yeah, I don't think I have anything, which is kind of nice.
Closing the pool up this weekend. Sad day.
And is this the last time?
This is the last time.
Yeah.
This is the last time we'll close up the pool, and then we'll have our own pool at our new house. So super exciting stuff. But no, I'm excited. I got a lot of work to do this weekend. I got a lot of client stuff to do. I got a lot of rush orders for parenting plans to do this weekend. And just getting ready for our dad stuff, because our first training is next week.
Yep. And our first group coaching session. So get in there. It's going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance if you get in there now, there might only be 2 or 3 guys in there right now per session. So you'd get a lot of one-on-one attention. So if you know of a dad that's struggling or a mom that's struggling, because again, we offer those same services for moms. This is what you just do them a favor, tag them in this, forward this on to them, go to our link trees and pass them along. We have the same, I should probably have your link on my link tree. We need to do that today too. And you can have mine so that people can just stay connected to all the services we offer. So anything else you want to add before we duck out?
I don't think so. Today is a new moon. Tomorrow ends retrograde. I feel like this is just a good time to remind you guys to think about, as the fall is approaching, think about what's no longer serving you so that you can let it go, right? This is the time of change, the time of shedding your skin and being reborn, really the person you want to be. So write down your goals, do your gratitude, manifestation, anything that you like to do, but just think about what habits or relationships or beliefs and things that just aren't serving you anymore that you need to let go so that you can level up. Yeah, that's huge. And really being honest with what you need to let go. Some of you know what you need to let go and you're like, I'll do it later. And you'll procrastinate and keep that toxicity or that negative aspect or that
thing that you don't want to do. I had a client yesterday who she does co-parenting therapy and it is just not serving her. And I'm like, why do you keep
she's just
going?
getting super stressed to be in this room with a high conflict person who's just manipulating the therapist. And it's like, what's the point of this?
Yeah. Like if it's not court, like I asked her yesterday, because I had a one-on-one with her yesterday. I said, if it doesn't say in your paperwork that there's going to be discovery out of that co-parenting therapy, you've checked the box. You went. They didn't put a time limit. They didn't put a number. I went. I did it. I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
Like it's not good for her mental health anymore. She has it every week. And I'm like, there's no way. There is no way I would purposely set myself up to go sit with my ex-husband every week. There ain't no fucking way. Zoom or not. No, ain't no way. Yeah. If it's not serving you, don't do it. And that could be a loved one too, that you might have to like break ties with.
And that's okay. It's okay.
That is okay. All right, you guys, do something for yourself today. Take it easy. Check out the links. If you came across this, there's a reason. So that means you probably have been itching to be in the next chapter, whether you're a mom or a dad. We got you for both. All right. So we'll take care and we'll see you again next week. Bye. Don't know.